Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. And what do you guys think about the lineup? We already have a comment there by Sport Freak. It says, saw United lineup pranked by Erik ten Hag. City will thrash them finally easily. Manchester is blue. I mean, I can't just say that with super confidence now, honestly, Sport Freak, because it's a derby. It's a derby and it's a game of football. Anything can happen. Literally anything can happen. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just respect the game, and anything can happen in a derby. Literally, there have been some poor City sides playing against, not in this decade, in the past decade, who have won against the United sides in the 2000s. So in a derby, anything can happen. So I'm not gonna just sit here and say that. I mean, I was shocked by the lineup. If I am shocked, then if I am shocked, then I can just imagine what United fans would be feeling. Bayaji is here. Hey Bayaji, how are you doing? He says if Haaland doesn't score against Evans Maguire duo, then he's certainly struggling this season. Come on, City. The lineup is quite interesting, Bayaji, because if you see that, I think this is the strongest lineup Pep has put out this season, I would say, since we have won the treble, because John Stones is not available in any of the matches. If you compare this lineup to the treble lineup, instead of Kevin De Bruyne, you have Julian Alvarez, and instead of Gundogan, you could say you have Phil Foden playing. But apart from that, I mean, Josko Guardiola is coming instead of Ake, but Guardiola, I say, is an upgrade on Ake. So almost an upgrade on Ake. So this is, I think, the closest lineup to the treble one that we have put out this season. Bernardo, Foden playing together. I mean, hasn't happened this season so much. I think one or two games. That's also Pep has literally gone with. I think this is Pep Guardiola's best lineup this season. At least till Kevin De Bruyne is back. I think it is his best lineup. I am probably thinking, can Doku play instead of Jack Grealish? What do you guys think? Why is Doku not playing instead of Jack Grealish? Because I thought put Doku against Victor Lindelof or Diego Dallo. Anyone, neither of them is like too quick, and Doku will absolutely destroy them. So I'm a bit surprised here that Jeremy Doku is not playing. But I think Pep Guardiola can say that Jack Grealish offers me more control. Bernardo Silva offers me more control. I'm expecting Bernardo to go out and Foden to come into the midfield along with Alvarez. So I think it's just because of control. Jack Grealish is playing instead of Doku. And Grealish, by the way, had a wonderful game against young boys, which is not particularly easy. So I think that's why Jack Grealish is playing. But other than that, I think this is Pep's best team. Bhayaji says, don't want Walker all alone on right wing and get tired by the time Garnacho comes on. Proper weightage, both wings is a must. I actually think Bhayaji, it won't happen. It won't happen in this match, because when you observe the matches where Walker was going up and down, that was when John Stones was not playing. Because the thing is, when John Stones doesn't play, you lack a body in the midfield, right? Which means the winger, the Bernardo or Foden, whoever plays there, has to cut tuck into the midfield to compensate for what John Stones is providing in the midfield. That means the right wing is empty, and Kyle Walker had to go up and down. But I think whenever John Stones is played and is coming to the midfield, it's almost inevitable that Walker forms a back three. Diaz, Josko Guardiola, and Kyle Walker, they form a back three. So I don't think that will be a problem today. Walker will, and also Walker has to defend against Rashford. So I know Rashford is not in good form, but you don't need to be in good form when you want to play on the break. You don't need to be in good form at all when you have to play on the counter. So I think Walker will anyway not go up front. I think this is a resemblance of this defensive structure is a resemblance of how we were playing in that in that treble winning season. I mean last season. Akanji, Ake, Diaz, Stones going into the middle. So I think it's a bit similar. But I'm a bit confused here. I don't know why, but I don't know why is Ericsson, Bruno Fernandes, and Scott McTominay, all three of them are playing. Won't Ericsson be a liability there? Can you play Ericsson and Bruno Fernandes in the same team? Won't there be a defensive liability? I don't know. That's what United fans, but I'm just intrigued because one thing about Eriksen, which we have seen in the FA Cup final, is that he doesn't track runners. So I'm wondering who will be that late runner into the box. Will it be Phil Foden? Will it be Bernardo Silva? I don't know. And I'm still wondering why is Evans and Maguire actually playing because Varane is on the bench, Serge Regulion is on the bench. I mean, anyone in the right frame of mind would actually put in Rafael Varane and Sergi Regulion. Varane, Harry Maguire, Regulion on one side, and Diego Dallo, who's a natural right back. Whatever dimension you see, I think that seems to be the right combination. But don't know. Some United fans are telling tactical and stuff. I literally don't know how this is going to pan out. There must be some reason, I don't know, because both are slow on the half turn. Maguire events. Is he going to tell Harry Maguire to man mark Erling Haaland? Is Ten Hag going to put Scott McTominay on Erling Haaland? Or is will Hoyland be given a job of man marking Rodri? Strike. We have seen in the past opposition coaches have man marked our CDMs in with their striker. Just don't know. Lot of ifs and buts in this match, and again, like I said, it's a derby. It's a game of football. 11 versus 11. Anything can happen. So I'm not gonna just sit here and say that thrash United lineup and all. But I just have this feeling Pep is not unleashing Jeremy Doku as much as he can because I had this feeling with Arsenal actually that why didn't Pep unleash Jeremy Doku on Zinchenko? Because we have seen Chelsea unleash, I think it was Mudrik. Uh, I don't remember Mudrik or Madueke or someone. Chelsea unleashed their left winger, right winger on Zinchenko, and Zinchenko got absolutely battered. I think Zinchenko got battered by Cole Palmer. So I mean, I still feel I know that Arsenal match is over and that result didn't affect the points tally, and we're almost level on Arsenal if we win this game and stuff. But I just thought that was a weakness to be exploited. 1v1 Jeremy Doku versus Zinchenko in a very cagey game. In a similar way, is Pep holding Jeremy Doku back even in this game? Because Jeremy Doku will absolutely destroy these guys. Jeremy Doku destroys Dallo. Jeremy Doku destroys Lindelof, depending on which flank he plays. Jeremy Doku would have destroyed both Ben White and Zinchenko there. I just can't understand this Pep thing with Jeremy Doku, to be honest. But yeah, this is I think it could be 3-3-3-1 by United too as Dalla is coming into midfield sometimes. I think that's absolutely true by Bayaji because I would be a bit surprised if Ten Hag didn't go with a back three and he played a back four because you see that and you see Lindelof, Maguire in the center of that back three and Johnny Evans on the other side. It has to be a back three. But then again, why don't you play Varane in a back three? Because Varane has got pace. Varane would be a perfect pairing to either of them. Well, I don't know. Those are United issues, but just intrigue. Bayaji says at times Pep asking Walker to do all those things that Cancelo was Cancelo was master of. At times Pep asking Walker to do all those things that Cancelo was master of. Walker can't do those things, I think, Bayaji. Walker honestly can't do all those things which Cancelo can. But I actually think he won the treble because Pep got rid of that Cancelo tactics, to be honest. If he did what, if Pep had Cancelo in last year's treble run from January, we would have been knocked out by Bayern or Real Madrid or whatever. Cancelo was a defensive liability. And I do not think Pep has asked Walker to actually come into the midfield as much this season. Everything with Walker has been, go up and down because no Stones, Bernardo or Foden had to come into the midfield and stuff. I think Walker, we all know that Walker is not good on the ball as Cancelo, but if you ask me Cancelo or Walker, I will pick Walker because Cancelo might win you one or two games with his tricks, but Walker can win you titles. Walker can win you championships because he is, I think, the best right back Premier League has ever seen, Kyle Walker. People say Gary Neville was one of the best right backs, but Gary Neville himself said if I was given a chance, I would pick Kyle Walker over myself. So Kyle Walker, I think we're talking about the best right back Premier League has ever seen. I mean, and other intriguing thing is has Akanji been available? Anyway, I think Akanji would not have started, so that was a non-question, I would say. The match has kicked off. United kicked the match off. Goosebumps, tension, like you have in every other derby. To be honest, it's good, goosebumpsy and it's tense. Will City press Andre Onana? City are pressing in a 4-4-2 shape. Julian Alvarez and Haaland pressing. Bernardo is playing in the midfield with Foden on the left. I'm sorry, with Grealish on the left and Foden on the right. I think Ten Hag might look to use Onana's ball playing capabilities here. And United are already on the attack. United are already on the attack. United are already on the attack here. They're already on the front foot here. And Diogo Dallo launches and Victor Lindelof launches a ball in. Sorry, Dallo launches a ball in, to be honest. United have started very positively on the front foot, so don't let the lineup fool you. I think this is a derby and anything can happen, to be honest. Another dangerous attack for United. City on the back foot already. City on the back foot already. Josko Guardiola this time losing the ball. And Hoyland with the chance to shoot. Rodri does the defending well there. City already on the back foot. United are really pressing high and aggressive. This is going to be an enticing derby. Look at it. United are pressing aggressively. This is going to be very interesting. John Stones getting onto the ball, coming into the midfield, and it's Bernardo Silva on the left. This is interesting. Bernardo on the left. Josko Guardiola, where is Grealish playing there? I think Grealish is playing centrally. This is interesting. Very interesting. The positions of Bernardo and Grealish. Just keep an eye on them, to be honest. Kyle Walker. Just settle down, guys. Just settle down. That's the thing. Just settle down. Settle down, to be honest. It's Old Trafford, and just we haven't got a good record over there in the past, but just settle down. It's a City throw. Jack Grealish does well. I think it's for control that Jack Grealish is playing on over Jeremy Doku. There's no doubt about it. United are coming toe to toe with City, playing a high line. United are not going to sit back, so this is going to be very, very interesting. To be honest, the press from United is so aggressive. I think is in matches like these, you probably think a player like Kevin De Bruyne would just thread that ball through. Well done by Ederson over there to relieve the pressure. United are just pressing us all over the pitch. Rashford is in on the counter. Rashford is in on the counter. I think he was offside. Victor Lindelof was offside there, but United are just taking the game to City here. It's not as straightforward as everyone thought it would be. Lindelof was just offside over there. Offside by a mile. Gautam says, and the derby is here, and Gautam United have started on the front foot. If you would have seen, United are on the front foot. They're it's like, yeah, City United are controlling the game for the first 5 minutes, Gautam. What do you think about United's lineup and what do you think about the first 6 minutes, Gautam? Because United have had, I think, not big chances, but Holland has had one good chance, and United are like controlling the game at the moment, but away ground. So I think tactically this may be something that you could look at. I don't know, but City are not able to get the ball from United in the first 6 minutes. United have dominated the possession the first 6 minutes, so there's a pass on to your left. There's a pass on to your left. Don't know who is it who overhit the pass. There was an easy pass onto the left, and I think it was bloody Jack Grealish. I think he saw it late, to be honest. City have now got the ball around United's half. Bernardo Silva, Rodri. Gautam says, I think we need to be patient. We will get our chances. Just need to be clinical. Erling needs to be clinical, Gautam. Erling needs to be clinical, and he's almost got a chance here. Erling Haaland, great run by Kyle Walker. Onana just at the last minute pushed it away. What a run by Kyle Walker there late. Good header by Foden, and just in that Haaland is ball just didn't fall Haaland's way. It's been that kind of a season for Haaland. It's a Man United free kick here, but Erling Haaland was so close to that scoring there. Phil Foden retrieves the ball. He's a Manchester lad, the derby. It means so much for him, to be honest. He's got a hat trick the last time, I think, last season. Erling Haaland and Foden both have got hat tricks. Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish. Josko Guardiola does extremely well. Gautam, as you said, City are regaining control. It's just that we need to be patient. That's all. Patient and clinical when we get those chances. That's the only thing. Clinical will be important. We need to be wary of the counter. Kyle Walker is actually playing so aggressively. I don't know. Again, Rashford threat, but City are playing such a high line. Means United, won't it be a risk? I don't know. Both the teams are actually playing high lines, to be honest. Cities is more higher than United, but United too are playing a high line. Josko Guardiol gives it away and United are on the counter. Bernardo Silva rescues the day for City. That was a chance. That was a chance for United. To be honest, it is on the break. Josko Guardiol with that loose pass. United are just covering up the entire midfield. They're just pouncing on the ball in the mid block, to be honest. It's tense. It's absolutely tense here. Kyle Walker. Phil Foden has made that one over Victor Lindelof, and that's a heavy touch from Foden, and it's a goal kick for United. Luton Town score an own goal. Sorry, Aston Villa score an own goal. They're just showing the clips of that match, but Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish gives the ball away now. What are we doing? What are we doing here? It's just giving the ball away so stupidly, I must say. We are just giving the ball away so cheaply, to be honest. It's the first time I've seen City give away the ball so cheaply so many times. And tactically as well, I think United are outnumbering us in the midfield. I actually think Ten Hag might be playing a diamond in the midfield, to be honest, to counter John Stones going into that midfield role. We've seen it with Inter Milan. I think Ten Hag might just be repeating that Inter Milan tactics, having two strikers up front, Rashford and Hoyland, with two strikers up front, wide split with Hoyland dropping into the midfield, Rashford remaining up front. Gautam says looseners. Been so. How many times? Josko Guardiol giving the ball away, Jagril is giving the ball away. That's not a foul as well. The referee, Paul Tyranny, I think, is the referee. Michael Oliver is a VAR. I thought the ball went out, but just we're not even pressing well. It's already 14 minutes gone. We're not. I mean, it's not been a good start to the game by City, to be honest. Erling Haaland's through, but Onana's come out. Ah, by the way, I think it's been loose from both the sides. To be honest, Haaland was on side over there. The pass from Foden needed to be just a little bit softer. Haaland was through. Good kick out there by Edison to find Kyle Walker. Walker's having so much more space. Phil Foden, Rodri, Jack Grealish, Jack Curliton. Rodri just could not get over it. I thought Rodri could have brought it down, had a touch. So hitting it on the volley is actually very difficult always. But good play by City. First bit of good play. Entire game, I would say. Match is tense. Match is absolutely tense. Gautam says it will be interesting to see Doku. That's true, Gautam. And another thing is, I think Doku with his pace can do recovery well. It's not like Jack Grealish doesn't have defensive work rate, but Doku with his recovery can be good. And and also Doku will push, depending on where he plays, Doku will push their fullbacks back, which means Dalo or Lindelof, whichever side Doku plays against, will not be able to get into the midfield as much. So I think Doku could absolutely change the game. See, I thought Arsenal against Arsenal, Doku could have changed the game because Doku against Zinchenko could not have come into the midfield when we played against Arsenal, which means Arsenal are bodiless. We could have dominated there. The same thing here as well. So Doku, I don't know why Pep is not using Doku as much. Wonderful by Grealish. Good interception there. Great cross from Bernardo, to be honest. Vishal says United have been the better team. They have been the better team, Vishal. Absolutely, they have been the better team. It's a derby, so I think in a derby form, everything goes out of the window. It's just absolutely agree. United have been the better team. City are growing into it. I mean, it's expected because it's at Old Trafford, an away ground where we have not had good record since the last 3, 4, 5 years. When was the last time we won at Old Trafford? I don't remember. So by the way, Vishal, what do you think about Gabriel Jesus' injury? Do you think Eddie can step up, or do you think you need to go for someone like an Ivan Tony in January because Gabriel Jesus has been so much injury prone since he's come to Arsenal. I mean, he was even at City, but more so at Arsenal. A lot of injuries. So what do you think? Vishal says Guardiola has been so sloppy, quite uncharacteristic. Nerves, I think. Vishal, nerves playing in a derby. I think it's his first derby in English football. I think it's just nerves. That's all. This is quite an interesting set piece routine. And it's another corner for City. And another thing, Vishal, is that we have to remember Josko Guardiola is just 21, I think, which is such a which is such a young age for a centre back. So I think he will take time to grow into this team. Not this year probably, but he'll play a lot due to his qualities and stuff. Vishal says we are definitely getting Tony because Chelsea is also in the race. Vishal apparently for Tony. It's almost looking like all the clubs scout and Chelsea goes and buys. Vishal says Nketia alone isn't enough. That is true. That is true. That is true. I think you add a clinical striker to that Arsenal team, and I think the scenario could become something else. Again, overhead pass, overhead pass. And again, I think if you look at the Premier League table, I think the title race is actually shaping up to be. I mean, I don't call it a race after 10 games, so but still, the way it's going, the way the teams are there, I think it's shaping up to be quite interesting with Aston Villa also in the mix. That's a foul in City's favor. We have not quite been able to get off to that blistering start, which we hope to get off here, but Derby, interesting game. See what happens. City players are just appealing for a penalty there. Let's see what has happened. I think VR will be checking it for sure, but play to the whistle, guys. Play to the whistle. There are a lot of confident penalty shouts. Let's see what will happen with regard to that. Game is just turning feisty. The referee is now going to the screen. The referee is now going to the screen. Yeah, he catches Rodri over there. He catches Rodri over there. Good. The referee has given the penalty. The referee has given the penalty. I think it's a foul by Rasmus Højlund. Let's see if Erling Haaland can score it or not. So Onana against Haaland. Onana has saved a penalty against Copenhagen. Haaland's not been in the best of form. His penalty against Young Boys was also trash. So let's see if Erling Haaland can score this penalty or not. Haaland, Erling, can you score? How's your nerve, Erling? I mean, I know how's Erling's missed a penalty against Bayern as well in the Champions League, right? But Erling, let's see what Erling Haaland does here. Erling Haaland. And Erling Haaland scores! Woo! Erling Haaland scores! Erling Haaland scores. Honestly, I could not even look up because there's the automatic scorecard there, and I was like so tensed that the scorecard would already tell me what has happened. I just could not look up, just looking at the screen because the automatic scorecard sometimes it just shows up early. It's a bit ahead than my this thing live stream I'm watching. So Haaland scores. Woo! What color is Manchester? What color is Manchester? Blue! Manchester is blue! Manchester is blue. It has always been blue and it will always be blue. Woo! Erling Haaland. Manchester United's eternal tormentor is back. Erling brought Haaland. Woo! It was a good penalty, by the way. Haaland, generally, it doesn't matter which side the keeper goes. Haaland just picks a side and he just tries to put it in the corner. But if you just see this penalty, Haaland waited that little bit to see which way Onana is going and he put the penalty the other way. So a little bit of change of technique by Erling Haaland, I think. But what a goal! Woo! Come on, City! What a goal that was by Erling Haaland. We need to be stable now. We need to be stable now. And by the way, just the thing about Josko Guardiola. Guardiola he's had a bit of a sloppy start, but he's grown into the game. Before that corner with which he got the penalty as well, Guardiola was he was intercepting balls well, and Guardiola had grown into the game, to be honest. City need to be very careful now. Let United come at us. Let United play around us. We will hit United on the break. Do not go fetching the ball, guys. Do not go fetching the ball. Let United come at us. Kyle Walker does extremely well to intercept that ball, to be honest. Walker's been very good attacking wise. On the ball, I think he has been one of the best players on the pitch this first 17 18 minutes, first 27 minutes. Walker has been extremely good on the ball. His on ball skills have been superb, escaping the pressing stuff. Been one of our better players in this first 27 minutes. United 43% possession, which is a good bit of position for United because I've seen Sheffield United come here and absolutely dominate Manchester United at their home, dominate possession as well almost. So in that sense, United have actually kept a decent chunk of possession against us. And I think the camera has gone down, which I will just look at it a bit more. Yeah. Camera's all right now. But 1-0 is never enough. 1-0 is never enough. I think before the break, if we can get the second goal, that will be interesting. That will actually make us a bit more confident here, to be honest. Gautam says Rodri, the man, the myth, the legend. Get the man a statue already. Get the man Rodri already a statue. That is excellent goalkeeping from That is excellent goalkeeping there from Addison. That is wonderful goalkeeping there from Addison. Wow. Just look at the pace. The one who went with Hoyland. People say Hoyland is fast, but just look at the pace. Just look at the pace there of John Stones. Just look at the pace there of John Stones. He went toe to toe with Hoyland. Wow. Look at John Stones defending there. Look at John Stones defending there. That is wonderful. City have been sloppy, I must say. We've not been good. Okay, we're having the lead, but we must grow into the game. Bernardo Silva gets the ball. That is wonderful from Bernardo Silva. Jack Grealish gets onto the ball. Bernardo Silva. Alvarez is free, I think. Rodri. Can Rodri have a long shot as well? This could turn out to be a Rodri derby. Gautam, if Rodri can pull off a long shot. Kyle Walker. That's a good chip ball. Jack Grealish. That's a goal kick for United. But City are now just starting to get into the groove. But we have been sloppy at the back. At least twice or thrice we have been sloppy at the back, to be honest. I think twice we have been sloppy at the back, to be honest. Because I know I've repeated myself, but I think once in the first 10 minutes and one just before, but the recovery from our defenders have been excellent. John Stones, the pace of John Stones is something I think which is just underrated too much. He's just quick. He's just quick. He's quicker than what do you think? That's a great ball from Edison to Yasko Guardiol, Bernardo Silva on the outside, Yasko Guardiol on the inside. Yasko Guardiol goes on the outside again. Can Yasko Guardiol put in a decent cross? He can. He can't. The cross goes over the. If Yasko Guardiol can improve his crossing ability, I know he's very good at passes and all, but diagonals and all. But if Guardiol can improve his crossing ability, wow, what a defender he will be. That's a good ball out there by Jack Grealish. Kyle Walker, Phil Foden, Walker, Rodri. Rodri to Josko Guardiol. Bernardo Silva. Josko Guardiol there. Josko Guardiol is being targeted by United players, to be honest, in terms of pressing. They are pressing him high, and he's definitely is press resistant. It's just the nerves of the derby. I think he's generally press resistant. They're trying to target Walker, but Walker is absolutely cold on the ball. But Guardiola is better than Walker on the ball, so I don't know why Guardiola has been doing such mistakes. But this is a good pass. Rodri to Bernardo, Grealish, John Stones, Josko Guardiola, Rodri, Phil Foden. That's a good ball in. Ah, that was almost there. Ah, Vinay says, why don't we go hard at them? Defense of Maguire even should destroy them. It's the ball over the top, I think, when I ball over the top. And the thing is, both Evans and Maguire are capable of actually playing that ball over the top, to be honest. So I think once you just press them too much and go all out on them, I think there's a danger of Hoyland and Rashford hitting you on the break. I think that should be the only reason. But I think second goal and we can and United will come out and we can go harder at them. I think I think second goal will be the hardest to get. Once we can get that second goal, I think we can just thrash them. Just waiting for the second goal when I floodgates can open. If we get that second goal by the end of this half, literally we could open the floodgates of United. Get the second goal, their heads will drop. A lot will happen. Jack Grealish, that's a foul. That's a foul on Jack Grealish. I can understand why the referee is not giving a card because it's a derby, but and I just think when I once we get the second goal, if we get the second goal, I think around about the 60th minute, 65th minute, Pep will unleash Doku and Doku will absolutely destroy them because then they're just having Haaland to mark now. Vinay says we didn't create any open play. This is affecting us. This is there, Vinay. There is no creative outlet. I do agree there's no creative outlet without De Bruyne. They are just, you know what teams are doing? They're just compressing us. So the space is out wide and they're man marking Haaland in the center. Because from out wide the crosses will come in. So I know there's nothing in open play, but United also haven't created anything in open play, right? We have gifted them chances, but I can't compare us to United now. Come on, but can understand this. Julian Alvarez with the free kick and Onana saves. That was a very good free kick. That was almost like the Wolves one. There's no creator there, I think, when I Julian Alvarez, I just don't think he creates. Julian Alvarez finds space. Julian Alvarez, I don't think, at least is not now in that creator range. He might grow into it. I honestly think you play Foden in the middle, and I think you get more creativity. But you get more control with Julian Alvarez. So I think that is a trade off. It's a goal kick. Ruben Diaz with a header. No open play when I do agree with you. No open play chances at all. We have created none. And that is why it's unlike City how we are playing. This creativity problem is affecting us. And I'm thinking, what is the solution? Honestly, what is the solution? By the way, Vinay, do you think Cole Palmer was the solution for this creativity problem? Because Cam is doing well for Chelsea actually. Was Cole Palmer the creativity answer? I don't know. Jack Grealish. See, even if you get kept another goal beside the goal which Onana is guarding, still Jack Grealish would not have scored. Okay, that's a deflection. I thought that was a very bad shot from Jack Grealish. I'm still actually thinking what is the solution to our creativity problem unless Kevin De Bruyne comes back. Until Kevin De Bruyne comes back. That's why I think Pep Guardiola wanted Lucas Paqueta. Pep Guardiola is trying Matthews Nunes at camp. So with all this, you can actually understand that Pep himself is working out quite a few things. Again, look at it, almost a giveaway. Julian, almost a giveaway there again by Phil Foden. Just don't know. We're just being so sloppy. That's a foul by Bruno Fernandes on Jack Grealish, to be honest. I mean, I just can't understand why are we not trying Jack Grealish in the camp position. I don't know. There are so many questions than answers to us, and it's kudos to Pep that every season in the first half you have more questions than answers, and still City are somehow within the touching distance of the leaders. 2 points or 3 points or 5 points or whatever. City, kudos to Pep that he always keeps us in the touching distance. Again, this season, the answers of a central attacking midfielder not solved. Can see the example of that is playing Matthews Nunes at Cam against young boys, which means Pep himself is not sure of who can get the creativity in the team. Yasin is here. He says hello. Hey Yasin, how are you doing? How's your weekend been, Yasin? Jack Grealish wants to get up some spice in this derby. I actually think Pep Guardiola needs to give Foden an extended run of games, playing as a cam, playing as a central attacking midfielder, rather than putting him in wide spaces. Vinay says, please explain me the role of Grealish. There are two things here, Vinay. The role of Grealish, first thing is get fouls, get fouls, and the second thing is pick up fights, pick up fights, and then the third thing is be the leader of the celebrations. If everything goes well at the end of the season, Jack Grealish is quite the role of Jack Grealish. I think it's more of a non-footballing role than a footballing role. But honestly, Vinay, what do you think about the solution to this creativity problem? I just can't get my head around this. How do you think, apart from telling Kevin De Bruyne, what do you think is the solution? Like, if in the next match you have to implement that solution, find it, what do you think is the best way of bringing creativity in the middle of the field for us? Because right now, there's absolutely zero creativity. I think rather than this, the best thing probably would be play Haaland and Alvarez up top as a two. Let us play a 4-4-2 with Alvarez, the striker who drops in, and who drops into the midfield and stuff. And because that's almost the kind of role which Alvarez is doing now, right? Except that he's not playing as much upfront as he would do in a 4-4-2 system, to be honest. Bernardo Silva with the ball. Kyle Walker. Kyle, there's a yes. Is found Foden. That is a wonderful ball by Foden to Kyle. And that's another corner for City. Little bit into Haaland and that could be 2-0. City, City's players just improved a little bit, I would say, when compared to the first 25-30 minutes, to be honest. Walker there knew that was a wonderful chance there to break United's hearts before the break, before half time. United are on the break now. United are on the break. That is a wonderful tackle there by Josko Guardiol. Wonderful tackle. Pace of Josko Guardiol has been impressive, to be honest. What a save that is from Edison. What a save that is from Edison. That's a good save from Edison, I would say. Very good save from Edison. And a thrash ball in from Preston Edison. Gautam says, great save. Nervy moments, Gautam, nervy moments. This is why derbies are nervy. Derbies are nervy. But the ball was actually very good. I think Walker did well there to just hurry Hoyland to shoot. Gautam, this Mr. Dependable Eddie, ever since Ortega has come last season, Eddie's become better and better. Otherwise, Eddie was sometimes a bit suspect in shot stopping in the previous seasons, but Eddie's now becoming a world class shot stopper as well. Rodri, giving the ball now. I don't know what we are doing again, giving the ball away. Ah, it's another corner for United. Ah, this is tense. This is tense viewing. Harry Maguire has hit the ball outside of two goals. It's like if he plays another goal, there still the ball not would have not gone inside. Gautam says no harm done. Harm done to our nerves, Gautam. The nerves are here just tense for all of the fans. I mean, I don't mind. We do this and we get a hit. We get a goal on the break on counter attack, but Phil Foden there. Phil Foden, Jack Grealish. Can we get something in the last minute before the break? Yasko Guardiol, Johnny Stones. That is a wonderful ball. Bernardo, put the ball in. Ha! What a save that was from Onana. What a save. That should have been 2-0. Ah, great save by Onana there. Should have been 2-0, I think. I think Haaland should have hit it in the corner, to be honest. That was straight at Onana. Hit a long shot, take a long shot, I think. The referee's blown up. That should have been 2-0 before the break. What a save by Onana. What a save there by Onana. But to be honest, I think Haaland should have made it 2-0. He shouldn't. He hit it straight at Onana. He should have. No, he had so much time with that header. He could have just planted it into one of the corners, either across Onana or Gautam says, uh, Konana has kept them in the game. Vinay says, I'm telling you, if you don't score within 10 to 15 minutes of second half, sure, we are losing or drawing. But honestly, Vinay, I think Haaland should have scored that, right? Haaland should have scored that goal. Gautam says, Onana has kept them in the game. Ah, Gautam, again, Haaland should be scoring that, Gautam. That almost reminds me of when Lukaku had a free header against us in the final and he shot straight at Ederson because Haaland had so much time, there was no pressure on him, and Onana was coming back. Either you plant it in the corner of the on the corner of the near post, or you direct it across Onana because his momentum is here. You just direct it across Onana, and then the goalkeeper would not come. Again, Haaland is not clinical enough. That was a chance. That was a goal for me. Haaland, anytime last season scores that goal. Vinay says just like Barcelona versus Real last night. Just like Jude Bellingham scored that goal in the 66th minute, right? Just imagine, Vinay, if you would have got Jude Bellingham, Rodri, Jude Bellingham, Kevin De Bruyne midfield, then I think Premier League would have kept a rule. City are only allowed to come into the Premier League only from January, not allowed before that. One more goal. And to be honest, Ayan is here, says hello, hello Ayan, how are you doing? I actually think Vinay again United also had chances. Hoyland had, I think, two good chances. John Stones recovery run, Ederson save. I think in the first 10-15 minutes, Hoyland had another chance, which he didn't score. I know Rashford has been quiet, but Hoyland has had the chances through the middle. We need to score that second. What a wonderful way it would have been to go into the break had Haaland scored that header. What has happened to Erling Haaland? See, when I'm telling people that Haaland is in bad form, some people are telling that look at the Premier League charts. He's the top scorer. Erling Haaland's got 10 Premier League goals with this penalty. He's the top scorer, 10 goals, and we're just in October last week. So, but he's not been clinical, right? He should have had 20. Nottingham Forest he missed three. Against Wolves, I think he missed one. He he missed one of that goal. Here he's missed one of that goal. If I just keep on counting, it will be against Sheffield United. He missed a penalty. I think there are at least 6 to 7 goals you can count that Erling Haaland has missed this season. Sitters, it should have been on 20 goals, not 10 right now. Bayaji says Haaland so weak on headers, often straighted keepers. United getting enough chances. That's the worry, Bayaji. Haaland scores the second goal, Bayaji, and the game's over for me. The game is over if Haaland scores. United are broken. United's morale is down. The crowd go quiet. United will come on to us attacking, and City can just play on the break. Then you score the second goal, you sit back and hit on the break. And Maguire, Evans, Lindelof, Dallo are not gonna catch Haaland and bring on Jeremy Doku. We go 2 goals up, bring on Jeremy Doku, kill the game off. That should have been the plan. Haaland weak on headers. Gautam says home teams are not winning the derbies recently. Let's hope, Gautam, that we change it around. Let's hope we do it around. Yasin says hello, missed your streams. How's the game? The game's been nervy, yes, and the game's been absolutely nervy. So United are having chances. City, I actually think if you compare the XG of this game, I think United have more XG than City. In terms of clear cut chances, I think it's Vinay who mentioned correctly that City have not created a single chance from open play. Not a single chance. The Haaland's chance was the best. I honestly think Grealish and Bernardo have actually played well in terms of that buzzing the ball around and stuff. I think Alvarez has not had a good game. Again, I don't know if Alvarez is doing some off-camera stuff like he's pressing his man, he's just putting in those hard yards, he's making those runs, everything which goes off camera. That I cannot tell, but at least in an attacking sense, Alvarez has not been good at all. Alvarez has not been good at all, and Yasko Guardiola as well has been a bit sloppy, but is grown into the game. I think the penalty as well was it was a penalty, definitely a penalty. No one can argue against it. It was almost a rugby tackle on Rodri by holding him back. Bayaji says if you don't score within 15 minutes, sub Alvarez for a mid. What's your suggestion, Bayaji? By the way, Bayaji, we were just having that discussion on the stream. Who would you? I mean, right now, if you were to address the creativity of the City team, because we have not been creative this match in the previous matches as well. Wolves we struggled against Arsenal, we struggled. How would you address City's creativity problems if you were the chance of bringing in one player right now in this within the squad? Who would you play at that central attacking midfield role? Because Alvarez he's having good assist numbers. I think he's having seven in all competitions or something, but he's not the answer to creativity problems. How would you assess that creativity problem? Bayaj's first ever penalty was City at Old Trafford in PL, and that too because of VAR. Otherwise, you don't expect penalties. Otherwise you actually don't expect penalties to be given in City's favor. I'll just come in a bit. But again, I think Bayaji, I think Matthews Nunes could be the midfielder. To be honest, Matthews Nunes could be the midfielder which you could sub on because I think you remove Grealish and you probably put Bernardo on that side, on the left side, and you sub on Matthews Nunes because that would mean Matthews Nunes would provide an extra body in the midfield. United would not be able to get hold of the ball as much as they're doing right now. So I think Matthews Nunes could be the answer. I do not want Mateo Kovacic. I think this is not the game for Mateo Kovacic. I think Matthews Nunes is the answer. Ayan says, how long have you been supporting City for? I think it will be close to 13, 13 years, 14 years, I think. Roundabout, I think 12 to 13 years at least. Bayaji says either Rico or Nunez because Kova is a recipe for counter-attack disaster. Kova could also be a recipe for red cards. Honestly, people said Kovacic played well and stuff against young boys, but I was not impressed by him. I think Kovacic was the one who was ruining our attacks. I think Rico Lewis is a good shout by Yaji. Rico Lewis will bring that creativity. Play Rico Lewis. I mean, give Rico Lewis the he's Rico Lewis is press resistant. Rico Lewis could put in those through balls. I think if we can start Rico Lewis at the Emirates, I think Rico Lewis can come on. But honestly, I think Matthews Nunes with all his experience, and I think we should remember that Matthews Nunes against uh, United, he played the first match, Wolves versus United. Matthews Nunes was fantastic. Matthews Nunes was the man of the match. He destroyed the entire United team single-handedly. So I think Matthews Nunes is primed to come on. I think. But honestly, we need to address this full creativity problem. We need to address it. I don't know why he's not tried Oscar Bob against young boys because Oscar Bob could be the answer for these creativity problems. Because I always thought Oscar Bob was the best young talent who for me who has come on in City and who for me has given. has given me vibes of David Silva. I see shades of David Silva in Oscar Bob. So I think Oscar Bob could be a solution for our creativity problems. Probably, I think Pep should start experimenting with him in the Champions League group stages because 9 out of 9 Champions League now group stage points. I think we have almost gone through. I think he should start experimenting right now. Bayaj is so disappointed with our midfield signings, given that PL experience, no impact at all. I think Kovacic, I think the disappointment is actually valid by Achi, but I think Matheus Nunes has done well actually. Matheus Nunes has come and he's actually done well in whatever games he's played. And we have to remember Nunes came on the deadline day. I think Nunes has been impressive to be honest in whatever he has done. If you remember, I think against Nottingham Forest, I think it was he was the one who gave an assist as well to Erling Haaland. Nunes I thought was good against young boys playing in an unfamiliar role. I think Nunes has been good. I'm impressed by Nunes. It's Kovacic who I think I've not been impressed by. Bayajus's occasion could be too big for someone like Bob, else is an ideal one. Because Bob can play. The thing with Oscar Bob is he has a sharp turn of pace, and he can just turn Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans like a top. So I think, and he's excellent through small spaces. And I honestly think where do you fit Julian Alvarez in, Bayaji? That's another question. Where do you fit Julian Alvarez in? Because Alvarez is one of the best young talents, could be a future Ballon d'Or winner, could be in with a shout of winning the Ballon d'Or. He's got everything. But if not a striker position, where do you fit Julian Alvarez in? Do you play him on the wing? What do you do? I don't know with Julian Alvarez. Because surely playing him in that midfield role, cam role is not working. It is just hindering our creativity. The reason is Alvarez, first instance, are like a center forward. They're not like a attacking midfielder. Can't blame him. So that's another problem that we are having. Julian Alvarez, his stats are decent. Everything's decent. He's won us games single-handedly this season. At least out of all the points we have got, I think 6 to 7 points. He's got as on his own, but Newcastle, that goal was a wonder goal. Goals, he almost equalized and single-handedly he was getting us through. So I think Julian Alvarez has been good, but where do you play him? I don't know. Lot of questions this time on the season rather than answers. Bayaji says Alvarez putting Pep into Taram Sankat exactly. And if you don't play him, clubs like Madrid and Barca are ready to pound South American. Just don't know. And I won't blame Alvarez as well because any other team in world football, I think Alvarez starts. In the striker position. I don't care even if it's Harry Kane at Bayern. I think Tuchel plays a 4-4-2 at Bayern to be honest. If Tuchel has Julian Alvarez, I think you take any team in world football right now, right from your PSG to your Barcelona, Real Madrid to Bayern Munich, any team in the PL, Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs. If Alvarez was there, I think Postecoglou plays Alvarez as striker and Son on the wings, no doubt. This is the only team where Alvarez doesn't start in world football right now. So that is the problem with that is the problem right now. So a lot of questions like we had in the first half of last season. Remember the first half of last season, New Year's Day, December the 31st. We bloody lost to Frank Lampard's Everton at the Etihad. Frank Lampard's Everton at the Etihad when Frank Lampard's Everton were 6 games without a win. That too at the sorry we drew against Frank Lampard's Everton at the Etihad. We didn't lose. I'm sorry. And that too when they were winless for they didn't gain any points in the last 6 7 matches and stuff. So first half of the season, Pep can be quite unpredictable. I think he's eking out for things, he's feeling out for things. I actually don't know. I'm having actually quite a few scenarios here. Could Pep play Bernardo Silva in the central midfield position, and could he play Doku out wide? Or could he play Jack Grealish in that central midfield position and play Doku out? I don't know. I just don't know. United have come out for the second half. We need to score early. Like people here said, we need to score in the first 15-20 minutes. Absolutely need to score. This is interesting. Mason Mount is coming on. Let's see in place of whom is Mason Mount coming on. Number 4. Who is number 4 for United? I don't know. Who is Mason Mount coming on for? Wow, this is interesting. Sofian Amrabat is off. Wow, this is interesting, guys. Sofian Amrabat is off, and Mason Mount is coming on. I think Ten Hag is going ultra attacking right now. That's offside. Bruno Fernandes is offside now. But this is very interesting. Amrabat is gone, and Mason Mount has come on. So literally, I think McTominay is the holding midfielder. Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans are the defenders. Wow, guys, we need to score at least one goal against these. That's not a foul, ref. That's not a foul. Come on, ref. It's a derby. That's not a foul. You can be better than that, ref. You can be better than that. Christian Eriksen taking the free kick. That's a corner for United. Ah, Edison does well there. Edison does well. For a moment, I thought he would spell it, but Edison does absolutely well. John Stones, Kyle Walker, Rodri, Bernardo Silva. Ah, chance. That was a chance, Phil. That was a chance. What a chance that was for Phil Foden. Vinay says Grealish and Bernardo have got so much space but didn't do well. Foden has to score there. It was a difficult one. Ball was bouncing. Okay, but what is Ten Hag thinking? He's removed Amrabat and he's put in Mason Mount. So literally, Vinay Scott McTominay is holding Maguire and Evans are the centre backs. Lindelof is the left back, and if you can't score against this team, then I don't know what it is. Bernardo Silva. Haaland scores! Woo! Haaland scores! Woo! Haaland scores! Wow! With the header, Erling Haaland scores! What a goal that is to silence Old Trafford! Wow! I mean, Gautam just he did it. Vinay, for a moment I was like, things just froze in time. Things just froze in time because Haaland had so much time that I just thought he would put it out. See, look at it. Haaland had so much time, to be honest. Haaland had so much time. Again, it's a repeat, right? It's a repeat of the first half thing. Oh, no, it's an exact repeat of everything. It's almost like someone's traveling back in time. First half, Bernardo Silva was the cross provider. This half, Bernardo Silva was the cross provider. First half, Onana did the same thing. Everything similar to first half. The only thing is, Haaland got more height onto this header. Haaland leapt like a giant. Wow, what a goal! Wow! And Bernardo Silva cross. Wow, I think Bernardo Silva has been the most creative player today for us. Gautam says Eric did a big mistake removing Amrabat. I don't know, Gautam, what people see in Scott McTominay because there are many footballers around who are much more talented but don't, oh, United on the attack here, United on the attack here. So Kyle Walker's taken out of the game. That is very well done by Josko Guardiola. That's a foul in City's favor. That's a foul in City's favor. So I actually don't know, Gatam, what people see in Scott McTominay. That every manager, right from your Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to Mourinho to Ten Hag, everyone trusts him so much. I just don't know what people see because there are much more talented players in the Premier League who just cannot make it. And I don't know what Scott McTominay just has half of their talent, and he is just. I mean, Romeo Lavia is a much better talent than Scott McTominay, and still Romeo Lavia, look at it, he's not got games at City and stuff. I know this is United, but I don't know what managers see in Scott McTominay that they trust them so much. United on the attack again. We need to get hold of the ball, guys. We need to take control of this game. It's just Edison's kicking the ball long, United taking the ball. I think Edison should just try to pass it out of the back. That is well done by Phil Foden. Ah, interesting that Julian Alvarez is actually playing on the right. He's playing a bit out wide now. He's not playing centrally. I think Foden's just gone a bit centrally. Though I think it might be just a momentary this thing. I don't know because City's front six and maybe apart from Rodri are always in motion. They're never at rest. Ah, this game is now just being played at a frantic pace. Kyle Walker with the ball. It's gone end to end. City need to control it. City need to bloody control it. We just cannot let the game go end to end, guys. This is favoring United. John Stones, Jack Grealish. Julian Alvarez, Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker there. Jack Grealish is actually holding the bit superbly. I know he's given the ball away there, but that's a corner for City. Probably Alvarez, I don't know. There was a counter attack or transition on, so Alvarez did the right job over there. It's a corner for City. I'm sorry, it's a throw in. I think we just need to send it back and regroup. Give it to Edison, give it to Eddie, give it to Eddie. Yes. Just regroup. Just let these United players go around. Just regroup stuff. Yes. Let them press around a bit. Let them waste their energy. That's how. Just calm the game down, guys. Calm the game down. That's a wonderful ball by Edison. Julian Alvarez to Phil Foden. Phil Foden one on one against Victor Lindelof. Jack Grealish. Ah, what a shot by Jack Grealish that was. I thought that went out, but maybe the whole ball didn't go out. So it's a throw into United. But that was a good shot by Jack Grealish, to be honest. Good save by Onana again. This is our best period because the balls are falling to us. So we need to make use of this to score another goal. Well done by Julian Alvarez there. Sorry, well done by Josko Guardiol there. And now it's Ruben Diaz with the ball. Rodri. John Stones. Julian Alvarez. Ha! Haaland, I think, was expecting the ball back, but that is wonderful football from City. That's a foul in City's favor. I think he should get a card as well. Bruno Fernandes should get a card. Bruno Fernandes had stopped the counter attack there, to be honest. City can just regroup again and build up from the back. Grealish has honestly lost a few balls today. John Stones, Kyle Walker, Ruben Diaz to Edison to Rodri, Erling Haaland. We need to score the third, I'm thinking. We need to get the third just to remove the sting out of this game. We need to get the third to remove the sting out of this game, to be honest. Sport Freak is here. Hey Sport Freak, how are you doing? It's tense, it's very tense. It's 2-0 and I'm acting as if City is 2-0 down, so it's that tense. Bernardo Silva, Alvarez, Kyle Walker, Phil Foden, Rodri, Edison. Calm the game down, guys. Calm the game down. Control the game. We do not want end-to-end action. They say playing against City is like death by thousand cuts. Scoreline never reflects it. So let us show that to United. Let us keep the ball. Walker is so far forward, and I'm afraid Julian Alvarez has sent it into orbit. United are now playing with McTominay as the CDM. We need to exploit that even more. Lucky that Kyle Walker got to the ball first. Josko Guardiola giving the ball away again. My God! Let's defend this well, guys. So well, that's a good header by Ruben Diaz, to be honest. United are having the ball now. Julian Alvarez can City United on the break now. Just keep the ball. Sportfreak says Derby, anything can happen. Nice prank by ETH, playing with the feeling of United fans. Unless the match is over, Sportfreak, I just Anurag, unless the match is over, I just can't comment on the lineup because I'll be looking like an absolute idiot. It could be either a fantastic selection by Ten Hag or he could absolutely look like a fool. Anything can happen at the end of the match. So I'll reserve my comments till the end of the match. 25 more minutes to go, which is a huge time, long time in football. Cover, 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 Foden, cover the outside. Yes, they're just putting. So the ball went over both Harry Maguire and Erling Haaland. So I'll reserve my comments on the United lineup. The match is over, to be honest. Vinay says wait until the final whistle. Exactly, Vinay, exactly. We know that how many times football can just bite you back once you think you're like you know everything in the game and you just laugh at an opponent and it just bites you back. So we don't know the reasoning why Ten Hag. Ah, it's a ball giveaway. That's that's a corner for United. Silly ball giveaway by Ruben Diaz, I think. Silly ball giveaway by Ruben Diaz. Sloppy mistakes by City. Absolute sloppy mistakes. I don't know why we are making them. That's another corner for United, I think. Rodri with the header out. That's well cleared by City. And I think it's a throw in for United now. Is Pep even gonna make any substitution in this match? I don't know. Ah! Rashford missed the chance. Rashford missed an open goal, I think. Whew. See, these are the things that can happen in a derby. Was Rashford onside? Yes, he was very well onside. That's a good run from Rashford. He's missed an open goal there. I mean, it was not an open goal, but that was a nice angle. Rashford in form probably could have finished that. He's put it wide. That was a close one. Exactly, Gautam. That was a very close one. Exactly, Vinay. Rashford just missed chance. That's why I want a third goal now. Third goal, it could just shut it up for once and for all. That was so close. See, those are the kind of runs which Rashford can make. See, one thing we'll have to agree with is Rashford's movement is world class. Whatever his finishing, whatever his antics would be, he never tracks back. No defensive discipline from Rashford, but his movement is just world class. And there are certain players whose movement is just world class. Raheem Sterling is one, Rashford is one. So Just can't you? No one could have defended against that movement from Rashford there. So that's my worry here. Just need to score that third goal and just finish it off. Or put Matthews Nunes in the midfield just to control things. Kyle Walker, Rodri. Ah, what a pass. Exactly when I what a pass and Haaland should have scored it. When I prime Haaland in form scores 4 this game. Haaland in form scores 4 against Nottingham Forest. Haaland in form is 22 goals now in the Premier League. Haaland right now is 11 goals. I think Haaland in form will be having around 23, 24 goals in the Premier League right now. And I'm not even joking. He's bloody missing 4-4 open. This is an easy chance by Haaland standards. Easy chance by Haaland standards. Should be finishing this off. Haaland should be finishing this off. I don't know what happens to strikers when they come to City. Do they arrange special training sessions from Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus? Jack Grealish with a shit cross. Bernardo Silva. Good that City are actually controlling the game now. This is good. United will have to chase shadows now. Let United chase shadows for a while. This is what we had to we needed to do from the beginning. Let United chase some shadows. John Stones, Ruben Diaz, Josko Guardiol. I think it was aimed at Foden, but that's fine. Foden lost his footing at the last moment, and it's Alejandro Garnacho who's coming on. This will be interesting. And it's Serge Regulion who's coming on as well. And Lindelof and Hoyland are off. Regulion and Garnacho are coming on. Which means I think Rashford is strike. Need to be very careful right now. We need to be absolutely careful. I don't know what Edison's doing with that pass. But City have played out from the back well, and it's now Josko Guardiol on the ball. Jack Grealish. It's a corner for City. Well done, Jack. It's good that Jack Grealish is going for more shots, actually, to be fair. This is one element which we always wanted to see of Jack because Jack has always been a good striker of the ball right from his Aston Villa days. Free kicks and stuff. I don't know if he used to take penalties for Aston Villa, but Jack has always been thing. Gautam says, I think the time has come for Doku, yes. That's a good clearance by John Stones, to be honest. By Ruben Diaz, I think. For a moment, I thought Gautam said the time has come for Grealish and Erling Haaland to put the ball in the corner and let City fans have some fun. But no, it's for Doku, I think. Yeah, but mark my words, guys. Pep will not make a substitution in this match. I think so. Gautam says no. Grealish and Haaland time waste in mass. Exactly, I guessed it right. Grealish and us. I think 10 more minutes, Gautam. After that, maybe it will be there. But just control the game. Control the game. I thought Haaland was almost through over there. Give it back to Eddie. Give it back to Eddie. Bruno is pressing and no one else is interested to impress with him. Jack Grealish has started it, Gautam. Jack Grealish has already started it. He's hit the ball against Mount and it's a City throw. Kyle Walker, Rodri. Gautam says, I love him only for this reason. Vinay, I think one part of your question is answered. What is the role of Jack Grealish in this team? You had asked, right? I think this, wasting time. Ah, Bernardo, Foden, Bernardo, back to Kyle Walker, Rodri, back again, John Stones, Gosco Guardiol, Rodri, Phil Foden. Honestly, I think when Pep has created some new roles in football as well, like the Jack Grealish role. You've heard of wingers, strikers, what their jobs are, but the role which Grealish is performing, Pep's surely revolutionized football in many non-footballing ways. What a ball that is. Julian Alvarez has to play in Foden, he's played in Foden. Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish, Roscoe Guardiol, Rodri, Haaland, and Foden scores! Haaland assists! Woo! Game, set, match! Game, set, match, guys! Game, set, match! That's the three! That's the three! Game, set, match! It's not just 3-0, guys. It's not just 3-0. It's the treble. It's us telling the United fans at Old Trafford, we have won the treble. 3-0. We have won the treble. Manchester is blue. We are writing history. We are not reliant on past history. We are writing history. We are history creators. We create history. We do not dwell on telling that historically we were good. There was once upon a player called as Roy Keane who would just, no, this is history in the making right now, and we are witnessing it. And Haaland with the assist. Wow, what a game for Haaland. Honestly, Vinay, Haaland should have had 4 or 5 today, but I'll take that. 2 goals and an assist. Haaland could just be getting back to form in the best way possible, destroying United. What Haaland has 5 goals against United in his 3 derbies. 5 goals and 2 assists, I think. I don't remember the assists from the previous this thing. And the fans of United are going away, and I don't blame them. Let us just turn this into an absolute thrashing now. Gotham says United fans. Gotham says, and it's raining. Could not be better than this. It's symbolic. It's symbolic of what the destiny is telling as well. It's symbolic of destiny. How the destiny is announcing to the entire footballing world that Manchester is blue. It has been for a long time now, for more than a decade now, and it continues to be. That is destiny announcing itself as well that Manchester is blue. Vinay says plastics leaving. Exactly. Who are the plastics now? Who are the plastics? Plastics leaving. And we as City fans have a history of a fan base who in the 90s they say that we were in third division and still Thursday night and still everyone was coming in attendance. And look at this fan base. Plastics leaving. And look at it. Poznan. The Poznan is on, and the Poznan. And the banner with the treble this thing. The banner with the treble. And the Poznan. Showing our back to United. Showing our back to United. Ball given away here. Just don't be complacent, guys. Now, just don't be complacent. Do not allow United to even score a single goal. That's very good defending. Just turn this into a humiliation. 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. Let us remind them of the 6-1 score line. Now says Poznan, the love Poznan. They're showing their back on the United fans. That's the most humiliating thing for opposition fans. Once we do the Poznan, that too at Old Trafford. The only thing missing is the cameras didn't pan on to Sir Alex Ferguson. And then show a City banner somewhere in the crowd which says, he said not in my lifetime, but it's fucking every time. It's fucking every single time. That was the only thing which is not there. They're not panning on to Sir Alex Ferguson now. Because just why always me? History, why always me? The best thing I remember is that the David Silva pass which he gave to Aguero in that for the 6th goal. That was, I think, one of the best assists ever in the history of Manchester derbies. That David Silva pass, it was an impossible pass for Zeko to. It was almost an impossible pass that David Silva made. Gautam says, Alex Ferguson be like, why always me? how that single sentence that occurred in a press conference that not in my lifetime that City will be the kings. Manchester City will be the kings in the city, and now look at it. Every time it's happening. Every time. Alex Ferguson be like, why always me? Wow. It's a corner for United. Getting the third goal was so important, right? It just relieved of the tension, just relieved of the nerves. I'm sure it is the case for everyone. It just relieved of the nerves. Otherwise, 2-0, anything can happen in football. 1-0, oh no, that is just tense, super tense. But 2-0, anything can happen. It's actually interesting the way this team is playing in terms of, I'm seeing many shades of that treble winning side that we are throwing bodies in the way. We are just defending with every part of our body. We will just not let United score today. I'm now confident will not let United score today. Look at how we are defending. City in this mood with Bernardo, Grealish, Ruben Diaz throwing his body on the line, John Stones. I mean, City in this mood. Alvarez still doing the hard work and pressing. City in this mood will not. Even if God comes down, footballing God, he cannot score with City in this mood. Vinay says, Doku time. Gautam says, hell yeah. Let them show hell. Let us show them hell, Vinay and Gautam, by bringing on Doku. Let us show them hell. Anthony is coming on. And Anthony Martial is coming on. And Ericsson and Rashford are going off. Let us show them hell. But I'm sure I'm very. Oh! Jeremy Doku is coming on. It's Doku time. And Mateo Kovacic is coming on. I probably would have put in Rico Lewis as well in this game. He would have just suffocated United. I personally think Rico Lewis is ready. The fact that Pep is starting him in every Champions League game, I know it's a group game, but starting him in every Champions League game, and the fact that Pep preferred Rico Lewis ahead of Calvin Phillips, ahead of Matthews Nunez, for example, for that Arsenal away game, it just shows me that Rico Lewis has arrived on the scene. It's just that Pep needs to unleash him. Vinay says someone needs to check Bernardo's heat map. Gautam says, and it does. Bernardo's heat map will be like insane. He'll be everywhere, literally from the centre back position to. I wouldn't be surprised if we find some heat this thing in Ederson's position as well. Mateo Kovacic, Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva. Phil Foden, now it looks like United are playing with 2-3 men down. City players are everywhere. Kyle Walker does extremely well against Anthony. Kyle Walker is the greatest right back Premier League has ever seen. He was one of the greatest right backs in football's history. He is not the greatest, of course. I'm not a fool to say he's ahead of Roberto Carlos and all, but Kyle Walker will go down at least in the top 10 best right backs football has ever seen. That's how good Kyle Walker is. Bernardo Silva, and it's offside. What a game this is! What a game! What a tense game it was. I mean, if someone sees the United lineup and sees that, they'll think this should have been an easy walkover for City, but it wasn't. United pressed well, United played well, United did everything well, and yet City were very, very good. I just hope Jeremy Doku bags a goal now. I just want to see Jeremy Doku once with his one-on-one against the fullback, against Diego Dallo. Jeremy Doku against Diego Dallo. That's what I want to see. One duel. That ball's gone out and it's a City throw. Pep is still intense. Pep is still intense. This is actually a tough run of games we're going through. We have played Arsenal, okay, we've lost. Then Brighton, we have won. Now United, we have almost won. So it's been a tough run of games. The next two, three, I think we have Chelsea again. Next week is Bournemouth. Okay, that's fine. I think in these next 6 games, I think if we get not 18 but round about 14 points, that's an excellent job done. That's a wonderful job done. One more goal, City. Come on, one more goal. Bernardo Silva does extremely well there. Mateo Kovacic, Rodri, Phil Foden. City are now just toying with the United defense and nothing else. Mateo Kovacic. Kovacic does extremely well. Rodri does well. And this is the one we have. Ah, I thought the ball would go for Doku. Just give the ball to Doku. Ah, there was a chance for Doku making the run there. I know we are just playing the ball around, but just give Doku one chance. Jeremy Doku now. Jeremy Doku one on one. This is the moment we are waiting for. Anthony, what an idiot. No wonder United have paid 80 million pounds for this idiot Anthony. Look at it. He is clearly chopping down Jeremy Doku. That's a yellow card for Anthony. And it's a free kick for City. How did they pay 85 million for Anthony and we got Doku for 55 million pounds? How did they pay 80 million for pounds for Harry Maguire and we got Ruben Diaz for around 60 million pounds? That's a corner for City. Look at Jeremy Doku. Look at what he's done. He's just gone past 2 3 United players. Now Bruno Fernandes is angry. Let him be angry. He's just gone past Bruno Fernandes. Look at the strength of Jeremy Doku. Look at the Bruno Fernandes just could not do anything. Gotham says Doku humiliation started. He he would have actually killed Dallo and Bruno Fernandes because Fernandes was playing on that wing. Someone's kicked out at Rodri, I think. What an absolute idiot that guy is. I think we need to be careful of the injuries now. These United players are idiots. They can do anything. We need to be careful of the injuries now. These United players are capable of doing anything now. Get their revenge, they can even injure us. Look at what Anthony was trying to do to Doku now on Rodri. These United players have lost it, I think. It's a free kick. Alvarez is not there. I think Tagri is also not there. Maybe Bernardo Silva should take it. But the Doku just in 2 minutes, it was just superb, right? He already went past his man, which he couldn't do the entire match. Yes, Bernardo flying in good crosses, but otherwise we could not do anything. But Doku, right from the start of the match, and this could have been 6-0 easily. I think this will be the final kick of the match. Erling Haaland's now trying to take free kicks, and that's it. Full time. Manchester is blue. It has always been, and at least since the last decade or so, it has always been. And this victory is just a confirmation of which color Manchester is. Manchester is blue. We are the history creators. Let Anthony argue, let Johnny Evans argue, let Bruno Fernandes argue with the referee. What they can't argue is the score line. It's not been 1-0 or something close game. We have absolutely thrashed United. Yes, United have been better, but United have largely been feeding up the scraps and nothing else, to be honest. They have been feeding up the scraps. So what a game this is, what a performance. I won't say we were at our best. Sport Freak says क्या बोला था 3-0. But honestly, we were not at our best, but we just completed the job. We just did the job. That's the hallmark of this game, of this side. We are history creators, and we just did our job. That's it. The clinicalness, yes, Haaland missed one or two headers, but generally most of the chances we were clinical. And one of the most difficult things in a derby is being clinical, and Foden showing nerves of steel. The passing from Josko Guardiola was good. John Stones, for me, I don't know who your man of the match is. Let me know your man of the match in the comments. But for me, the man of the match is John Stones for me. He was an unsung hero there, John Stones. You will not, probably, no one might even mention him. You won't see him in the ratings as well. The plaudits could go to Foden, could go to Haaland for the goals, as they should, or Rodri, for example, for the penalty. But I think John Stones just bossed that midfield. John Stones was just, he was just immense in that midfield. You somehow felt Rodri was going forward, and you somehow felt that this was a if you didn't know it was John Stones, a centre back coming into the midfield, you would feel this was a seasoned midfielder. This was a midfielder with years of experience. He was so good in that midfield. In a game where Guardiola lost the ball, Grealish lost the ball, Diaz sometimes lost the ball, Walker once or twice lost the ball. John Stones in that United were actually flooding players in the midfield, and John Stones was always an outlet. His movement, his intelligence, his positional sense, he always moved to create space. And for me, we just can't teach that. It's just a midfielder's trait. Midfielders trait that they somehow find space. Your David Silva's and stuff, and Kevin De Bruyne's and John Stones in terms of finding space is certainly going up to that standard now in terms of just finding space, in terms of moving away from his marker. What a performance from John Stones for me. Gautam says, as I said, Rodri is the man, the myth, the legend. He's irrepressible. The same thing, Gautam, the same thing applies to John Stones as well. John Stones, as long as we have these two people playing for us, Rodri and John Stones, I think it's just because both of them in the midfield, because John Stones played mainly in the midfield today. He didn't play much in the centre back. John Stones, what a player he's looking. Both Rodri and John Stones. That's what I mean. What a player John Stones has become already. For me, the clear man of the match. Bhaiya, this is Antonian Ratnandes should be in a mental asylum, not in a football club. That name, Bhayaji, that name deserves a nameplate. That name deserves a nameplate. hung outside Old Trafford. Ratnandes. Wow. What a name. What a name, Bayaji. Ratnandes. Perfect name. He looks like a rat. He argues like a rat. He just nibbles. He just always nibbles, nibbles, nibbles. But he doesn't do anything with the ball. He does not do anything with the ball. Ratnandes. What a name that is. By the way, um, for me, John Stones is a man of the match. But Jeremy Doku, again, I think Jeremy Doku. I know Pep wants Grealish, Bernardo Silva have been fantastic. Grealish, Bernardo Silva have been excellent in this match. But I somehow think with Jeremy Doku on one wing and Foden on the other wing, you could have just annihilated the opposition. You could have just destroyed United in the first half. I mean, I know, that there could be two sides of that argument. Doku in the first half could have we could have annihilated United, or we could have at least been 1-2 goals down. Because I think with Doku the turnover ratio is high. With Doku the turnover rate is high. So I think United in the transitions would have probably hit us. Maybe playing Doku. I mean, these are all second thoughts that are going on in my mind. But I think maybe playing Doku would have played into United's hands. I think Pep had done the right thing here by playing Jack Grealish, because control. Because I think honestly, just speaking about United's lineup now, because a lot of people wanted to know my views on United's lineup and stuff. I actually think I I mean, you'd think that Ten Hag has made a prank out of United, and he's put in such a stupid lineup there. But I think Eric Ten Hag realized one thing. I think that if you he could have played Varane, Harry Maguire as a pairing. He could have played Amrabat and McTominay. Could have sat back the usual way, hit us on the break. He could have maybe played Bruno Fernandes in the center and Garnacho, Rashford on the two wings, sat back, maybe lived off scraps and hit a goal. But what Ten Hag what Ten Hag went on was, I will flood the entire midfield. Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes, bring Mount on. I'll outnumber City's midfield, and then I'll press City high. I'll outnumber City in the midfield, and I'll have Rashford and Højlund run onto the defenders 2v2 onto Diaz and Guardiola, because Stones will be coming into the midfield. So that was actually the tactic. I think that was the tactic, to be honest. That's why he's taken a bit. He's actually taken a bit from that Inter Milan game, where Inter Milan tried a similar thing: two strikers up front, and you played diamond in the midfield to to counter our midfield, so that you outnumber us with a striker dropping in. Do that. I think that was what Ten Hag tried to do. To be honest, was not successful, because Pep learned a lot from that Inter Milan game. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for joining me, and it's been a wonderful stream with all of you guys. Uh, Lots of nerves, lots of excitement. But at the end of the day, we won the game, and Manchester's blue, like I always said, Manchester's blue, and